Viewers advised.
Hey everyone, this video is brought to you by Audible. Audible is offering you a free audiobook with a 30-day free trial membership. All you need to do is go to audibletrial.com/BGUnlocked. The link is in the description below, and now enjoy the video. Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Unlocked, and Josh and I are doing a no-run-through review for Death Battle, the card game.
Literal trash.
Hot garbage. This was I happened to see this on one of their recent Death Battles. They promoted it at the beginning, and I was like, you know what? Why the fuck not?
Yeah.
It was pretty cheap. I think it was like $25, and I got the limited edition 20 bonus Roosterteeth cards. So that's pretty cool. And I'm a huge fan of Death Battle.
I am too.
Which, if you guys don't know what Death Battle is, it's a YouTube channel where they pit, two popular, characters in comic books, video games,
pop culture,
and have them fight against the death by choosing their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
They simulate it like 1,000 times or something like that.
100.
100.
I think they do it out of 100 and do whoever won the most out of it. Now, granted, I don't know what their process is or how they do that.
They do like a bunch of they say they do the research. I know that, but they do like mathematics and whatnot.
Yeah, and I know they have a guy and a few other YouTubers who are like experts in certain characters. They do their research. And of course, I watch other YouTube channels that are about especially Naruto, and they always debunk. There's always debunk things just because their character didn't win.
No throwing shade. I know who you're talking about.
I mean, I still really like their channel, and the counter argument that they provide makes sense too. But my thing is yes, they do say that they're for entertainment purposes at the end of the day, and
there's obviously no hard scientific fact.
Correct. It's all based off of speculation and what's shown, and I still love it. I think even if characters that I think would win inherently, every time they do their explanation, I'm like, oh, okay.
So that's why it's like a decent.
Yeah, and who am I to sit there and just be like, oh no, their calculations are wrong. I'm not gonna do the time. This is kind of a side tangent. The only extensive math and science that I've ever done for any game was a friend and I sat down and we did we mathed out how strong his gorilla D&D character was by throwing a baseball, and we actually looked up the equations for impact, meteor impact, and actually tried to calculate it. Essentially, I think what it ended up coming down to, based off our calculations, which was probably so wrong, but I think we got it to if you threw a baseball, it when it hit the ground, it would destroy it like a city.
Oh wow!
It's what we eventually came to. So it was fun, even if we were wrong. It was still fun to do. So I've always been a huge fan of Death Battle, and they've come a long way. So I think they're great. So they made a card game, essentially a two-player card game.
Yeah, I don't think it's doable with 3 people.
Yeah, it says 2 players on the box as a hard 2, but they do have a rule set for more
than 2.
They have a Death Battle Royale. I don't think that one would work too well, and then the Master Debaters is probably the best one that you can get with more people.
Yeah, getting to pitch what you're using.
Yeah.
Super fight.
Essentially super fight. So, is this game worth getting? I don't know.
I don't either.
I really don't know. The game is not bad. It's kind of fun. It's essentially a dice chucker. So what you do in the game is you are dealt 3 armor sets. And you pick one, and then the other 2 you just keep nearby. And then you pick a weapon that has an ability, and you pick a skill that has an ability. And then these cards will give you specific dice that you roll.
You essentially build a character.
Yeah.
And then you pit your character against whoever or however many people you're going against. And duke it out to the death. And if your character wins, it stays, and then last person standing wins. Yep.
So so the dice all have different abilities. There's over 50 custom dice, and they all have different colors, which means certain things. So red dice are your damage dice. Yellow are reroll dice. Green are luck, which are extra hits. Purple is defense, which goes off of your armor ability. Blue lets you swap a die, and
taking dice from your opponent.
Yep, and then you have your common ones that are
clear
just
dice.
your clear dice.
Hit or miss.
So I like that. I actually really like that they do have the custom dice. Now it's this game is all luck. There's some skill because you do have your combinations that
the cards that play off one another.
Yeah, and what your armor does is essentially take certain colored dice away from your opponent, and that's kind of how you absorb damage. And then you roll dice, and whoever got the most hits
wins.
Yeah, it wins. And you take, okay, that armor's gone. Then I pick my other one. The weapon and the skill go away, and then I pick 2 more.
Yeah, game's real whimsical, super fast. We didn't play for very long.
Right.
Easy setup.
Yeah.
It's
not the clearest of rules.
Yeah, there's a couple things that are like.
It's like, okay, so how does that work? Like the wording for the blue dice is like when used. It's like, wait, does that mean if I roll it, like, do I get to take a dice that you just rolled? And the rule book is very short, so it's not as clear. That was the one that stuck out to me the most, was that one. But ultimately, other than that, yeah, like Josh said, the game is pretty funny. They obviously couldn't get the rights to use actual characters.
Yeah, trademark names. But there's obvious implication of who it is. Like they have Link from Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
But it's like Hero's Tunic or whatever.
Yeah, they have Link from Good Mythical Morning. They have the Why Are We Here? And all the cards, which are kind of neat, they have like their own school, almost, like their own class. Like that's Roosterteeth. And Why Are We Here? It shows, I guess, just for 2 random people. Even though they own, like, Red versus Blue.
Yep. So
I don't know why they didn't do Halo.
There were Halo things in it.
Yeah, but like it's like they could have put the Spartans on this one in particular.
Yeah.
Because it's like, obviously they have the rights to Halo, because they can make Red versus... I think they're still making Red versus Blue stuff.
I have no idea.
I know they're like on season 15 or something. They kept going. But, so that's a reference to Red versus Blue. Hammer, like, some of them I had no idea. But these are skill cards, so like...
there's 5 tropes. There was like anime...
Yeah, well,
I don't remember all of them.
Because
I had a lot of anime cards.
Yeah, and I had a lot of the Rooster Teeth ones.
There's like anime, cartoon.
They have anime, cartoons, comics, movies, video games, and then I got the limited edition Rooster Teeth cards.
Yeah.
3 sword style. That's obviously One Piece.
Yeah, Zoro.
Fire breath. That must be from a movie. So Smog maybe. Let's see. Ninjutsu.
They had like the dragon or Drake killer or something like that. It's from Berserk. It's the Dragon Slayer sword.
Nipple laser.
Yeah, nipple lasers.
Don't know what that's from.
I think it's from Gundam.
Cool. Let's see. So they have Wiz's arm.
Yeah.
So from obviously Wiz Moves since they started doing the comic thing, which I love.
Yes.
I think because they make it a lot more funny because they can actually do visual gags now.
Animation.
Yeah. Final form, that's anime. Boomstick's leg. Yeah, because he has a shotgun for a leg. Let's see. I'm just kind of going through them real quick just to show like kind of the whimsy of it. $1 Million Conundrum, which is funny. That's another Rooster Teeth because they made the $1 Million butt, which is like, you get $1 million, but you queef every time you laugh or something. And it's like, ooh man, how often am I gonna laugh? A lot? Hell, $1 million. Because like once you get all these weird scenarios, it's actually a fun party game because you realize how much $1 million is not worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
You shit your pants every morning you wake up. It's like, oh man, $9 million is going to go by really quick.
You'll buy a lot of clothes.
Yeah, they'll go into your clothes because you shit your pants all the time. Giggle Gas, obviously. Joker. Worst hand of ever of all time. So that's $1 million but that's kind of like the gag whenever he... oh man, what's his name in Red vs. Blue? But he throws like a grenade, and it's like right at the wall. He's like, that was the worst throw of all time. I need to rewatch Red vs. Blue.
It's been a long time.
Genlock, that's their new anime. Utility Belt, Batman. And like all the cards are visually appealing too, because there's like a teddy bear in there. Like one of them is actually fun. So it's pretty cool, because like the skill cards all have like dice that you're going to get for playing it. And an ability that you may choose. If your active weapon is 0-handed, you add another die to it. And there is some strategy. Like, even though it's all luck at the end of the day, you get to be like, okay, oh man, if I'm gonna play this card, then you'll just take it from me with your defense. Or if I play, there was some interaction where it's like, if you play this kind of card, I get a certain type of die. It was pretty neat. The best armor card in the game is the cone.
It's a traffic cone.
It is a traffic cone.
One of each type of dice.
Yep.
It's
and that was it.
Impervious or whatever.
Pretty much, but it has a speed of 0. So your armor has a speed that you get an extra attack die if you're faster than someone. Yeah, adventurous tuning.
It picks like an initiative.
It picks initiative for playing cards, and then also you get the extra dice extra clear die
for having initiative.
Yeah, Dragon Killer. That's the one.
Yeah, Dragon Killer, Dragon Slayer Greatsword.
Yep.
In Berserk.
Arm Blasters from Samus. The Trident is clearly Aquaman. So, I mean, the only real negative that I kind of have for a game like this is that there's not more cards.
Yeah, it's very limited.
Yeah, so, granted, you're going to get a different combination of armor and cards, but ultimately it's like, I mean, there's really not a whole lot to say about.
So the one game I personally can compare it to is Super Fight, and Super Fight has like 4 or 5 expansion decks.
Yeah.
And that's what they would need to do.
Yeah.
Like this would have to be living with constant
kind
content.
of, yeah. Like, oh hey, here's I don't know what other type of categories they could do.
They could add red versus blue characters, like add Caboose and all them.
Like if they can get the rights, they can get specific. Like, hey, here's the Naruto pack. I think location would be really cool.
Yeah,
that's what elevated Super Fight for me.
Yeah, add a whole like arena like deck.
Yeah, like in base Super Fight, and if you don't know what Super Fight is, it's essentially you get a character and you get some weird ability, and you have to argue. Or not argue, you have to debate who would win. Like if Josh was the judge and me and Kat got characters, we would have to debate on, well, I have this ability so I can beat you because of this, and you just go back and forth, and the judge ultimately decides who wins. And that's a way you can play this.
Yeah, it is a game variant. We did the straight 1v1, 3 characters.
Yeah.
Seth ended up winning because Cone is disgusting.
And it's funny because you finally beat him, and I had an ability that let me bring him back, and I'm just like, Cone!
Resurrected Cone from the grave.
Yep. I mean, it's not really thematic, and if you're coming in thinking you're going to be getting Death Battle, like, okay, I have Cloud McStrife, and I'm going to have this ability with him, and this ability, like, I'm going to get his abilities.
Yeah, no.
You're not getting that at all.
Yeah.
Like, they're very loosely related, like, the cards are all loosely related to certain things, but you're not actually picking specific characters to fight specific characters.
Because of the trademark.
Exactly.
And to make it an actual card game, they had to be like, alright, this is your character, but they get this weapon, and they have these skills.
Right. So ultimately, like, it's like, the Death Battle card game is very tongue-in-cheek. Because you're just pitting 2 people against each other. It really has nothing to do with what Death Battle is actually about. Which is the whole reason why I got it. I was like, oh yeah, why not? Sure. But yeah, so with Super Fight, it was like, okay, because people could be like, oh, well, if we're fighting in space, then I win. It's like, why would we fight in space? Like, what the hell? So the location expansion,
it would add a lot.
It adds a lot because it's like, oh, but in this kind of game, I guess, because you're not debating, so.
And since the cards do have artwork that kind of depict what it's supposed to look like, for example, like, if they added locations, they could have a card that's like the training ground from Naruto or the Forest of Death.
Yeah.
Like, so these 2 characters are fighting in the Forest of Cone with these powers fighting Link from Legend of Zelda.
Right. But the thing is, now I think about it, is with this kind of game, you're not debating your characters. So a location, it would have to be a specific overall ability. If you play cards like, because we're thinking if we debate, like, yeah, Cone loses in every fucking fight. Because you just kick the cone over. But for some reason, this cone has a shotgun and all that, which is what makes it funny.
It's a sentient cone.
Yeah, and with, I guess, but they could still do stuff like that. Hey, here's an overall ability that, okay, if you play cards like this, then the location aids you, gives you more dice. I think they can go with maybe different types of dice. But who knows if they're going to make expansions for this. This could easily have just been their
one-off.
Hey, we'll make a card game. Why not? We need to add something else to the merch store. Here's something that we made up on the spot. But for $25, it's
not bad.
It's not bad. I expected it to be horrible.
Hot garbage.
Hot caca. But it's not. So if you're a fan of Death Battle and you want a fun, lighthearted two-player game, because unlike the rest of those games, Super Fight and all them, you have to have more people.
Yes.
Like, you can't. So if you want something that's light, tongue-in-cheek, kind of humorous, but still a relatively decent dice-chucking game, this is not horrible. But obviously, you have to be a fan of Death Battle.
Or, like, just supportive. Like
support. That's really that's what it was.
Whiz and Boomsticks, Mom.
You're like, yeah, okay. And I've, like I said, I've been watching Death Battle since Season 1.
Yeah, I've watched it a long time.
I've not missed an episode, and
I have. I'm not that diehard, but
I am, because they come out every 2 weeks on Thursdays, and I'm just like, who's the latest one was
it's Mob from
Mob
1000
100 and versus Tatsumaki, I think, from
One Punch
Man. Both psychics. I didn't know shit about Mob.
I don't either.
I knew very little about her because I've read One Punch Man. But the one before that was Sasuke versus Hiei.
Yeah.
And that one I was like, ooh.
Because Naruto's your favorite anime?
No, it's not actually.
It's not?
Full Metal Alchemist is my
That's
favorite.
right.
Naruto should technically because like it's more emotional for me and it's longer, but I actually
don't like Naruto.
I love Naruto. Boruto is once again hot caca. And Dragon Ball Z is poopy. Oh, there goes all my subscribers. They're all down the drain.
Hang him.
Kill me.
But yeah, like
I keep touching the box. I don't know why.
But yeah,
it's
not bad. Really, honestly, it was more solid than we were thinking it would be.
One Punch Man, or the next Death Battle is Deadpool versus The Mask.
Oh,
carries The Mask. Because like they were like we finally can get rid of. It's like let's finally kill Deadpool, and so they're doing Deadpool again because they brought him in twice. He was up against Deathstroke.
Yeah, that's obvious.
He was up against the fucking My Little Pony chick, and now he's up against The Mask. So I'm excited for that. Because like I said, even if they do get their data wrong or they do, if they're biased, I don't think they're biased. I really do think they do the research. I don't care. It's fun.
I'm a big Dragon Ball Z fan. The fact that they redid Goku versus Superman and Goku still lost is like, okay, they're not wrong because they even in the second one they're like, obviously.
Yeah, and people will debate that till they're fucking dead. And it's like, look, it's not that Superman's better, even though he is. He was built to be busted.
Yeah.
Like, that's his whole thing.
His gimmick is that he is unstoppable.
Essentially. And, I mean, my favorite one, this was an earlier one, so they probably should redo it, is the Link versus Cloud.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Because the rules changed since then.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, Link would probably lose, like, because I mean, I don't care. Link's my favorite, so I'm glad he won. But yeah, probably based off their current.
I'd like them to redo. Can't remember if it was Solid Snake or Big Boss versus Sam Fisher from Splinter Cell.
Solid Snake.
Solid Snake.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good revisit.
I think that one was a couple seasons ago, I think, and
it was relatively.
It was relatively new, and I think it was still under their current rules. That one was a really good one. They hardly have ones where I'm not interested at all.
Yeah.
Like, and even whenever I'm not interested, like they did one with, I think it was JoJo or whatever his name from JoJo's Bizarre Adventures.
Oh, Joestar?
Yeah, versus someone, and I was like, who the fuck are these characters? And then I learned a little bit about them, and it gets me kind of interested. So, I hope they keep going. I'm fully supportive of them, and I watch their cast. I think they're hilarious and really cool, and I feel bad because they're in a genre that is going to spark probably the most hate-filled fucking comments.
Oh, yeah. I'm really surprised they don't have their comments disabled.
Right?
Because, like, the toxicity from fandoms is insane.
Is disgusting. So they have a pretty good attitude about it. So I'll support them for as long as they keep going.
Yep.
Scale of 1 to 10.
I'm gonna give it an 8.
An 8? Yeah, I mean, for this kind of game, like, I'm gonna give it a 7. I can't give it an 8 because at the end of the day, I'm not gonna be playing this game a lot.
Well, no.
Like, it's still a fun 2-player game, but
I give it an 8 for what it is.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
If we're doing overall, like against all the other games, it's a 7. It's good.
Yeah, I had fun. So that's Death Battle, the card game. Everyone, what's on the box? It's kind of hollow. Oh well, they have outlines of the people.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's definitely that's Doom Guy, huh? I just wish they had the IPs like that. That would have.
Yeah, if they could have got IPs, this thing would be way better.
Even if it played the exact same, just actually having the IPs, because there were a lot of times where you were like, oh yeah, haha, and I was like,
I don't get it.
I'm like
I had Rubber Body, and it's like it's obviously Luffy.
Yeah, I didn't get any of that. Like I finally started getting cards. I was like, oh, okay, there it is. Like I get it. So. Yeah, that's our thoughts on Death Battle, the card game, everyone. Let us know what you think of the game in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching this, and if you like this video, then click the subscribe button below to enjoy any video that I put out. And right next to that subscribe button is a little bell. Click that so you get notified of whenever I actually upload these videos. If you want to support the channel, you can definitely visit my Patreon page. The link is in the description below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.